Welcome to part 2 of the series, Annex SL, the foundation of integration. In this part, we explore why ISO standards fit together and how organizations can move away from managing separate systems toward a more integrated approach. Standards such as ISO 27001 for security, ISO 27701 for privacy, and ISO 42001 for AI governance may seem different, but they are built on a common structure. That common structure is Annex SL, and it is what makes integration not only possible, but practical. In this session, we'll unpack how this shared foundation allows organizations to build one aligned management system that supports security, privacy, and AI together. So, what is Annex SL? It is the common structure used by all modern ISO management system standards. It provides a unified framework that ensures consistency across standards, making them easier to understand, implement, and most importantly, integrate. Instead of each standard having a different structure and approach, Annex SL aligns them into a single, consistent model. This means organizations don't have to build separate systems for security, privacy, and AI. Instead, they can build one integrated management system that follows the same structure, uses the same processes, and supports multiple standards at the same time. In simple terms, Annex SL is what makes integration possible. This is the key concept behind Annex SL. Standards such as ISO 27001, ISO 27701, ISO 42001, ISO 9001, and ISO 22301 may all focus on different areas, from security and privacy to quality and business continuity. But they all follow the same core structure, specifically clauses 4 through to 10. This means that while the subject matter changes, the way the management system is designed, implemented, and managed remains consistent. And that's where the real opportunity lies. Instead of building separate systems for each standard, organizations can build one management system and apply it across multiple standards. One structure, multiple standards, one integrated approach. Before Annex SL, ISO standards were built using different structures. This made integration difficult, increased duplication, and created unnecessary complexity for organizations trying to implement multiple standards. Each standard required its own processes, its own documentation, and often its own management system. Annex SL changed that. It introduced a standardized structure across all modern ISO management system standards. This made integration much easier, reduced duplication, and simplified how organizations design and manage their systems. Let's now look at the Annex SL structure. All modern ISO management system standards follow the same core clauses, from Clause 4 through to Clause 10. Clause 4 focuses on context, understanding the organization, its environment, and its stakeholders. Clause 5 is leadership, ensuring top management commitment, governance, and accountability. Clause 6 is planning, where risks, opportunities, and objectives are defined. Clause 7 is support, covering resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. Clause 8 is operation, where processes and controls are implemented and managed. Clause 9 is performance, monitoring, measurement, internal audit, and management review. And finally, Clause 10 is improvement, driving corrective action and continual improvement. This consistent structure is what allows organizations to build one management system that can support multiple ISO standards at the same time. Annex SL defines a common high-level structure used across all modern ISO management system standards, including ISO 27001, ISO 27701, and ISO 42001. It starts with clauses 1 to 3, which cover scope, normative references, and terms and definitions, establishing the foundation and common understanding of the standard. Clause 4 focuses on the organization and its context, including understanding internal and external issues, identifying interested parties, defining scope, and establishing the management system. Clause 5 introduces leadership, including commitment, policy, and the assignment of roles and responsibilities. Clause 6 addresses planning, including actions to address risks and opportunities, risk assessment and treatment, objectives, and the planning of changes. Clause 7 focuses on support, covering resources, competence, awareness, communication, and documented information. Clause 8 moves into operation, where processes are implemented and controlled, including risk assessment and treatment at an operational level. Clause 9 covers performance evaluation, including monitoring, measurement, internal audits, and management review. Finally, Clause 10 focuses on improvement, including continual improvement and corrective actions. The key point is that this structure does not change across standards. It provides a consistent framework that organizations can use to build and integrate multiple management systems. And finally, Clause 10 is improvement, driving corrective action and continual improvement. This consistent structure is what allows organizations to build one management system that can support multiple ISO standards at the same time. Here we illustrate how Annex SL aligns management system standards 27001, ISO 27701, and ISO 42001 to the Plan-Do-Check-Act cycle. What Annex SL achieves is a consistent structure across all management systems, allowing organizations to integrate multiple standards into a single, unified framework aligned to the Plan-Do-Check-Act cycle. This ensures that management systems are not static, but continuously improving and aligned to business objectives, risks, and performance outcomes. So what does this actually enable in practice? It enables organizations to move away from duplication and towards simplification. Instead of having multiple risk approaches, you can establish one risk management process that covers security, privacy, and AI. Instead of separate controls, you can build one control environment that is mapped across multiple standards. This then feeds into one audit program, where the same evidence can be used to demonstrate compliance across different standards. And ultimately, one management review, giving leadership a single, unified view of performance, risk, and improvement. The real benefit is this: design once, and apply across standards. That is where integration delivers real value, not just in compliance, but in efficiency, consistency, and governance. One of the biggest advantages of integration is in the audit space. With an integrated management system, one audit can cover multiple standards. Because the clauses are aligned, the same evidence can be used across different standards, which significantly reduces duplication. This means less time preparing for audits, less disruption to the business, and ultimately, lower audit costs. It also improves consistency. Instead of having different audits with different interpretations, you have one structured approach, one set of evidence, and one aligned view of compliance. The result is not just efficiency, but stronger, more reliable assurance. And this is where integration delivers real business value. The key takeaway is this: one foundation, 3 lenses, and one integrated system. You are not building separate systems for security, privacy, and artificial intelligence. Instead, you are applying a single, consistent framework across all 3 domains. Security, privacy, and AI are simply different lenses through which risk, controls, and governance are applied. This is what Annex SL enables: a unified structure that allows organizations to integrate requirements, align processes, and reduce duplication across the business. By working from one foundation, organizations improve consistency, strengthen oversight, and make better, more informed decisions. In the next part of the series, Part 3, we will move into how integration actually works in practice, translating this structure into real operational processes.